Hi everyone, in today's video I'll be showing you how I drew this Colosseum drawing using ink pens. Now I'm going to be drawing in my sketchbook. All the supplies that I'm using will be listed in the description box below. So for the initial sketch, I'm going in with a regular graphite pencil and I'm just capturing all the major areas of the structure of the building. I'm not going into too much of detail, but I am putting enough detail so that I can obviously ink this later and add more details to this later on as I progress with the drawing. I'm using a Faber-castell eraser and a Steadtler HB graphite pencil. I'm going to be using for line work the Derwent line makers, and then I'm also going to be using the Pentel Brush Pen. This is just to get areas that I need a larger coverage with ink. As you can see, it's got quite a thick nib, so it helps me with that brush nib to cover quickly. And then the Derwent line makers, I'm using a 0.1, a 0.3, and a 0.5, depending on what I want to achieve with my line work. So obviously for finer lines, I'll be using the 0.1, and for thicker lines, I'll be using the 0.5. If there's anything in between, then I will be using a 0.3. So I'm working my way from the top to the bottom, section by section, following my guidelines and also referring back to the reference photo. Now there on the top, you can see I by mistake touched the ink with my finger and I smudged the ink on the drawing. So be careful when you are using ink or pens. Make sure that it's completely dry before you touch it with your hand, or avoid the area completely until it's dry. Don't let your hand or fingers touch on it because it can smudge. Also, when you are erasing the graphite lines after you do your initial line work, make sure that the ink is dry before to prevent smudging as well. So now I've added the basic areas. I've covered the graphite lines completely, and now I'm just going in with some cross hatching and achieving some of the texture or the different texture and the shadow areas, defining that as well. I'm also using the very fine line pen just to create, that's a 0.1, to create some texture for the walls of the building and obviously the stone walls and some of the finer details in certain areas. This is not a very detailed drawing or very realistic drawing. It's an illustration, so I kept it quite loose and not too busy. I did try to work some, get some detail in on the building now, as you can see, but it was not turning out the way I wanted it to, so I decided to cover the entire area with the Pentel Brush Pen, which looks better. You will decide when you're looking at your reference photo what you need to leave in and what you need to leave out, because everything does not have to come into your drawing. Sometimes what you see in reality and what you draw, there needs to be certain things that you leave out because it does not make sense to put it into your drawing, because it does not look good on the drawing. But that's your choice, personal choice, and depending on what you see and what you're drawing. So I guess that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Till the next one. Bye.